The Bul Armory Tac Pro. Let's check it out. Guys, the 1911 is legendary, starting out from World War I with the U.S. military all the way up through all the major wars. The one big dilemma with the 1911 has been the single stack magazine. You've got 7 to 8 rounds of 45, you've got maybe 10 rounds of 9mm. And there's a lot of great options that exceed that, but yet the 1911 still is as popular today as it ever has been. In stepped STI and began the 2011, which is a double stack 1911. Added a polymer grip shell and just really allows for a higher round capacity with all those 1911 attributes. There have been a number of different companies that have introduced more budget-friendly 2011 style pistols. But Bul Armory has come in and made a really high quality 2011 style, and yet typically the price is less than the higher priced Staccatos. But honestly, the quality is, if not the same, it's actually better. I've been very impressed with Bul Armory over the past few years as they've been coming into the market. They've been in business since 1990 and have been in competitive circuits all over Europe. But now we're seeing them here in the US. And today we're going to take a look at the Tac Pro. This is an upgraded version over their original SAS2 series. And there's a lot of really cool features that really put this one, to me, at the top of the heap. Now, a big thank you to Bul Armory for partnering with us with the Tac Pro to bring this review to you guys. Guys, if you haven't taken a look at Bul Armory, it's impressive. Guys, the 2011 style pistols have become the rage, with STI going into Staccato, and those handguns really have commanded a high premium. They're very well made, very well finished. There's a lot of things about Staccato that are excellent, but there have been a lot of competitors that have entered the market, and really more toward the budget line to where most people can afford them. There's a number of different offerings that have come out, and actually pretty good handguns. The Bul Armory comes in not at a budget price, but it actually comes in with a lot of quality, and yet it doesn't quite get up to that really high dollar that the Staccatos typically have. But honestly, this handgun, and I'll tell you, and I've compared them side by side, Staccato has nothing on the Bul Armory. I mean, these are just extremely well made. Now, these are made in Israel. And currently, they are being used on the front lines with IDF, and Bul Armory is getting instant feedback on their performance in the field. They're getting feedback immediately. And so this has really made a big difference with the Tac Pro, and one of the reasons why that a lot of this has been changed. Now let's go ahead and drop our magazine. One of the things that's a big change up front is that this is a 20-round magazine. So we have a fairly flush fit with the mag well installed. Just comes out a little bit at the bottom, and this is giving us 20 rounds. We take the older mags and we insert those. I mean, guys, it hangs out just a touch past the mag well, but we still have 18 rounds. So we have an additional 2 rounds with a very little difference in length. I mean, it's probably about 1/4 inch, and you're getting 2 additional rounds of 9mm, which this is in 9mm. But one of the beautiful things about these magazines is that you get 4 with the pistol, which is fantastic. And it's one of the things that Bul Armory, in fact, I was talking to the guys at Bul, and they said, why not go ahead and include these extra magazines? They're going to have to make that expense typically anyway, and let's go ahead and include them with a handgun. The magazine base pad has a cut, and then it corresponds with this little relief in your mag well. And this just allows for you to be able to rip those magazines in case you have a malfunction. Also on the bottom of the mag base, it has these directional lines. Now this is a stainless steel frame, and so it's going to give it a lot more strength than you do even with your aluminum frames. With the stainless steel slide, stainless steel frame, I mean, you're going to get a lot of longevity out of this handgun. And it's going to be really durable for military applications, for SWAT teams or CERT teams, and for competitive shooting. The weight of the handgun gives it even more balance, and it's just going to be more durable. But let's go ahead, make sure the gun is unloaded. We're going to check the chamber, and it's empty. Now, one thing about this slide to frame, it is like smooth like butter. And I'll tell you guys, it is so slick. There is no resistance on it. It just pulls back. It does have a full-length guide rod. This is the 5-inch model, so it has a 5-inch bull barrel. But you'll notice the V ports. This is 8 ports, 4 on each side. They are directional out the side, and one of the things about the front sight is it's just a blacked out front sight, and the reason is because of the ports. If you have a fiber optic on here or even night sights, the carbon is going to cover this after a while, and you're not even going to be able to use them. So the black sight was really mandatory. Also, you'll notice that it is a flush cut on the slide with the barrel. That takes a lot of machining. A lot of your 2011s have the barrel just sticking out a little bit, and that's just less machining. And so this really takes a lot. It makes it flush. It has a really nice look to it. And also they have extended the Picatinny rail all the way out to the end. Here with the originals, and this is just the Tac 4.25, it stops and then the rest of your slide comes out. Now you can see the difference in your slide cuts. Directional slide cuts on the original Tac, but here with the Tac Pro, we have those really nice serrations that come up actually over into the top of the slide. And of course you have rear slide serrations as well. And that's one of the upgrades. Now the grip is that polymer grip shell, which is known for your 2011 style or double stack 9mm pistols. We have checkering here on the back, and then we have this texturing all on the sides with the grip, and then here at the front, on the front strap, we have this checkering as well. Very confident grip. Also, we have a nice undercut right here at the trigger guard. So it gives you a really high ride. And then with the beaver tail, guys, I'm telling you, this thing just melts in your hand. It feels almost like an extension. And the grip is not too wide. I like the grip width. It gives you something to hang on to. The 1911 is thin, and personally, because I have kind of medium-sized hands, it fits me well. But even then, this is a really full grip that gives me a lot of confidence when shooting. But with 9mm and with the ports and the weight of this handgun, this is an incredible soft shooting experience. The muzzle rise is very light, and a lot of that has to do with the ports coming back. 7 slots on the Picatinny rail, which give you a lot of real estate. Comes all the way out again, and it just extends that frame to the end. Now, one thing about the barrel, it is flush fit, but it's also a 10-degree crown. Full-length guide rod. We'll take a look at that a little better when we break it down. The beaver tail has been changed from just the stainless, which was kind of Bul's trademark, to have stainless on the beaver tail, stainless right here on one of the grip screws, and then of course we have a stainless pin. And that was just mainly for looks. But there was a lot of feedback, people wanting just that blacked out model. And so this is one of the upgrades they've made, is just making these black. We have ambidextrous safeties. They are serrated, and they're really positive, easy to grab, and they can be used as a gas pedal to be able to get that thumb for that high ride when you're shooting it. And of course you have slide stop that does have checkering on here. Now here on your extended safety, there is a texturing that comes all the way throughout, makes it look really nice, makes it look complete, and then here again on the slide stop. And of course this is ambidextrous and it has that same pattern right here. This is mainly just design feature, but it really lets you know that there is a lot of care that goes into finishing these. Then here, a better look at those slide serrations. I mean, they're very unique, very different, and yet very purposeful. I'll tell you what, guys, this is just a super comfortable gun to shoot. Of course, the stainless metal frame, it does make it heavy, Bul Armory does make additional models that are in the aluminum frame that are still in this series, and they're called the EDC models. They also make a Tac model, which is not the Tac Pro because it doesn't have the ports on either side. They do have window cuts here just to lessen a little bit of the weight, but it's not ported. This does come in a 5-inch model and a 4.25-inch model, which is this model here in the older version, but it's the same length. So there are a number of different handguns that are featured in this line. Now, are the basics any different? No, there's just a lot of different changes that have been made just to make this a more pleasant shooting handgun and honestly more effective in a combat situation. We do have a magazine well down here, and of course it is wide and it's nice to be able to bring that magazine in, but this is removable. And they do have a shortened pin if you want to take the mag well off and just go without the mag well, just your straight grip. And it does lessen a little bit of the silhouette of the handgun. But one thing I love about the mag well is it just allows your hand to rest down there on the bottom, and it just gives you more purchase on your handgun, better gripping. Now the rear sight is also serrated black, so you have black on black. You can get a co-witness with your sights. It's going to be low in the optic. But then we have the BAO, or the Bul Armory optic multi-footprint mounting system. You'll notice on the original Tac model that it's a little bit larger and it sits down into the slide. With the new model, it's a lot thinner, and you'll also notice these little wings. And this just allows for this mount to fit down into those wings. There's a pin that holds this into place, and it's a load-bearing pin. It doesn't rely on the mounting screws to hold the optic in place, and it takes off most of the tension that's on these screws to hold this on as the slide reciprocates back and forth. It is a very sturdy system. Now we have the Trijicon SRO mounted. This was provided by Optics Planet. We really appreciate those guys. So a little closer look at the BAO system. It's pretty ingenious. Here where we have our optics cut, you do have this post that is in the center. And with your optics adapter plate, it fits and it locks in. Not only does it lock in here, but if you'll notice these little bars on the side next to the slide, it corresponds with a little bit of a cutout for your optics adapter plate. And so this gives it a good solid lockup, especially when you're reciprocating back and forth with the slide. It just takes off the tension off of your mounting screws. And so this is really an ingenious system. One thing too that I really like is that it retains the back sight. I believe on the Staccatos, the back sight is removed, and I really like to have that back sight just in case something happens to my optics. This is an adapter plate for the RMR. They also have plates for the Delta Point Pro, and with the Delta Point Pro you need a little bit different screws, and they do have those available. Then they have the Holosun K footprint and the RMSC footprint, and those are all included with the handgun. Of course, with 1911s, the mag release is only on one side. It is extended some, and then you have your traditional 1911 style here. But you can see this texturing, I mean, it just fits so nice in your hand. We have the Delta style hammer that's really unique, again, and it just nestles into that beaver tail, which has your memory notch. It's real high ride. It gets it way up on the pistol. It has this Commander or Delta style hammer that has a different configuration, and it gives you just a more of a straight point here with the serrations if you need to bring that back with your thumb. We do have that grip safety, and we have a memory notch right here to give you a little extended pressure in case you grab hold of it. A lot of guys with bigger hands, grip safeties can be an issue. And that's a holdover from when the U.S. military adopted the 1911 right during World War I. Now, there's also your trigger, which this is a really nice stylized trigger. It is aluminum. It has an over-traveled screw adjustment here. And I'll tell you guys, one thing about this is the trigger pull is exceptional. According to Bul Armory, I believe it's like 3.2 pounds. So we have a touch of take up, and that hits a wall. And then a really nice crisp break. Reset right there. I mean super fast on the reset. Trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge. 1 pound, 10.3 ounces. 1 pound, 9.9 ounces. Man, that is a sweet trigger pull. Now, Bul Armory says that typical pistols will come with a 3.2 pound trigger pull. Okay, this is one of the early examples that first hit the US. So I think traditionally and with other Bul Armory handguns that we have, they do run about that 3 pound trigger pull. You'll notice on the Tac 4.25 we have that kind of a white marking. Here we have Tac Pro 5-inch and it's actually engraved into the slide. Here on the other side, Bul Armory logo, SAS2. And we have Bul Armory, Miami, Florida, which is the importer. Here on this side, we do have the SAS2, but there's no other markings on this handgun. I mean, it is really blacked out, except for the stainless steel barrel. But we still retain Bul here on the grip. Tac Pro, we're going to have to weigh this with the optic, 40.19 ounces. And the SRO actually weighs 1.6 ounces, so that gets it under the 40-ounce mark. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammo, all made in the USA, one of the biggest suppliers of ammunition in the country. One beautiful thing about this Bul Armory Tac Pro is you get 4 magazines, and that really makes things nice when you're shooting a lot, and you don't have to round up extra mags. And also a big thanks to our Lula loaders. Especially these 20 round mags, this makes it really easy to be able to load. This is a complete upgrade over their original Tac series. And I'll tell you guys, this rivals any 2011 style handgun on the market. Bul Armory has really gained a huge reputation for making really quality guns. This is a 20 round magazine in a standard 18 round configuration. It's just the way they do this, it's very little difference in magazine length. Very aggressive grip, and of course it's polymer, and then you have your all steel frame that really makes this very shootable. The steel frame comes all the way out to the end, and then of course you have ports, and the ports help recoil management. But the steel frame also just kind of rides out and holds this together. Also, this slide is super easy to rack. I mean, it shoots so smooth, and I've gotten to where I really love Bul Armory, shooting Bul Armory. Guys, this competes with Staccato, hands down, and to me, a better gun. We've got the Trigicon SRO on here, and this is optics ready. One thing too about a lot of optics when you're putting them on handguns is it changes the recoil dynamics. You feel like you can feel the optic coming back, but for some reason this has very little impact like I have felt on others. And of course with an optic you can rack it that way, but it comes back really quick. I mean, guys, I'm halfway through the mag, 10 rounds. Super soft shooting. I love the way they have this attached. It's a proprietary system that really locks this into the slide. It takes 90% of the recoil force off of your red dot. Just a lot of cool features about this handgun. And I'm telling you, Bul Armory just keeps putting out just great products. I mean, it's super fast to shoot. Guys, if you're looking for a 2011, I highly recommend Bul Armory. Check them out. Now to disassemble the firearm, drop your magazine, check the chamber, the gun's empty, point it in a safe direction, pull the trigger. We're going to bring our slide all the way back and just put it in the slide lock. On your guide rod, there is a small hole, and you need to take a little paper clip, and we're going to have to find that hole and just put it in it and then lock it in just like that. Next, we're just going to release our slide stop. Now line up your slide with the slide stop right here, and then on the other side just push the button right here, and this is your slide stop here. Sometimes because this is a 2011 they can be a little tight, and so I'm going to take a screwdriver and try not to hit my slide or my frame. Oh, there we go. And we can pull the slide stop right out. Now just go ahead and bring your slide forward with the barrel, and the recoil spring should be contained. Next, we're going to bring our barrel back, and then you can just bring your full-length guide rod out. And you want to make sure, though, that you don't release that little pin, because it will release the recoil spring and be a little bit more difficult to get back in. So just like that. I mean, that's a pretty cool system in itself. This sleeve that really mounts to the barrel, it's just going to give it better accuracy, better stability. Then take your barrel link, put it in the down position, and then just move your barrel forward. Guys, that is one beefy barrel. Of course, we need to clean it. I did kind of clean it off, but that's just from shooting. And one of the things about the ports is you do get a little bit of fouling right here on your barrel. But a beautiful barrel. And one thing about the Bul barrel is it fits right up to the slide, and it mates with the slide. And that's more hand fitting, which just gives it better accuracy. And I think with this recoil system, it's just going to allow it to sit right there on the barrel, and it's just going to give it more rigidity. The fit and the finish is excellent. There's a little bit of color right here, and that comes from the heat treating, and then down in here, but this is not rust, it's just part of the heat treating process. And guys, I'm telling you, that dust cover is massive. It goes all the way out to the end. It is beautifully finished all the way throughout. A little bit of heat treating discoloration right in here. And then we have this long slide rail, which really allows for great slide to frame fit. It's going to glide on that rail. A lot of times with polymer frame, you have a very short little rail front and back. This just gives you more contact with your frame. And that's all for disassembly. For reassembly, we're going to bring our barrel back in. Just line it to the back, bring up our barrel link. Next, we're going to take our guide rod and we're just going to put it right through back into place. It's going to take a little bit to get through that tunnel or that channel. There we go. This is where your slide stop goes through your barrel link, and so we're going to want to make sure we have that lined up. Now bring this back over your slide. Now here we're going to find our barrel link, go ahead and put in our slide stop. And then as we line up this little notch for our slide stop, just lift up the slide stop and put it in there kind of close, and then push up and in. Now bring your slide back into slide lock, and then just take this little pin and pull it out from the hole, and then you can release your slide. And test for function, and we're back in business. Now it does come with a Bul Armory box, and we get a gun case. Really nice case with handles, double zippers. Here at the top we have area for 6 magazines. We have a protection flap, and then here we have the handgun. It comes with 4 Velcro straps, so you can put those however you want to, but this really helps secure the handgun. We have our additional plates. We do have a small tool that I missed in the box for your guide rod. Also, we have bore brushes, and we have a cleaning rod. And you have your chamber flag, and we have the federally mandated lock. And we have the shortened pin if you want to remove your magazine well and make it more flush. Now there have been a lot of upgrades to the Tac Pro system and the new SAS2 in general, whether it's the Tac model, the EDC. And so the price has come up somewhat. With the EDC model, it starts out at $1760. When it comes to the Tac model, $2250, and then when we go to the Pro model, it's $2450. That's still considerably less than your Staccato P or other comparable Staccato pistols. Now let's talk about pros and cons. Of course, pros are abundant. One of the things I like is, of course, they just blackened it out. I like that. The beaver tail, the grip screw, even the logos have been just pretty much removed except some engraving. So this is really a blacked out handgun. Also, I love the dust cover fits all the way to the end. This is going to really help non-reciprocating mass at the front. It's just going to make it flatter shooting. For this model, I love the ports. You know, they're very effective. It makes this shoot extremely soft, and then added with the stainless steel frame, which does add weight to the pistol, but that's going to give this handgun a lot of longevity. The mounting system is just incredible. It's top notch. It really protects your optic, and it keeps it in line. The sights, they're high profile, so you can co-witness. The new slide serrations to me are a big upgrade, very easy to rack, and overall all the different features that we've looked at. I mean, they are top notch, and the quality of this handgun is premium. And their competition barrel system, I mean, it gives it really exceptional accuracy. What are the cons? Well, with the Tac Pro, it's a heavy pistol. It's big, it's large, it's 5-inch with a steel frame. It just has some weight to it. But of course, then you can go back to your EDC models, which have the aluminum frame if you want to carry. And it's a big pistol, which, you know, again, for competitive shooting, for combat operations, or even for police units, especially those in high-stress situations, this makes an excellent option. The price is definitely high, but less than a lot of your other premium 2011 style pistols. And to me, again, this stands toe-to-toe with anything else that's on the market. I love that they retain the rear sight as well. So while you can find some budget 2011 pistols that will be fine, this is going to give you a premium option that really, for the money, makes this a very attractive option. And of course, you get 4 20-round magazines, which is huge in the industry. I think the Staccato 20-rounders hang down quite a bit with that additional base pad. This just gives you a fairly flush fit magazine option. And again, 20 plus 1. And so with the extra magazines, with all the adapter plates, that really also takes away some of the expense it would be to have to purchase more magazines. And the price on the additional magazines are just $55, so you're going to come in cheaper than you will with Staccato mags. So guys, a great package really put together by Bul Armory. So guys, the Tac series from Bul Armory, whether you go with the Tac Pro, the standard Tac model, or the EDC for more easier carry, Bul Armory is putting together a really high quality line of 2011 style or double stack 1911 pistols. The 2011 style pistols are the rage, and Bul Armory is bringing in a really high quality option. And again, a big thank you to Bul Armory for sending the Tac Pro for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Military, police, and that gives us a great chance to demonstrate the BAO optic. Okay, and that gives us a great and just allows you to just have a good, solid, firm grip on the pistol. I've said that 30,000 times. And then of course we have our. I'm just flying through this like 9,000 miles an hour. Calm down. Polymer frame. We have okay. I think I know where I want to go. I just got to get it down there. I want to get a little bit better picture of that. I don't feel like I'm getting a good picture. Premium 2011 and still kind of, okay.